Hello everyone, I am Mr. Sunil Kumar from the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the esteemed AJ Institute of Engineering and Technology, Mangalore. Dear students, I am teaching you the course Material Testing Laboratory for 4th semester Mechanical Engineering students as per VTU syllabus. In this lab, we will learn about the different properties of materials, properties such as tensile strength, compression strength, impact strength, hardness, toughness, wear properties, etc. All these properties are required because the materials will be subjected to the real-time applications and these properties will affect the applications. Whether it's stability or failure, we need to understand about the properties. In this class, we will study about the compression and the compressive strength of the material. Many structures will be subjected to compression. Many machine elements will be subjected to compression. We will study what is compression. Compression test. Whenever the load is a pushing type along the axis, then it is known as compression. Compressive strength is the property of the material which is very much required because most of the structures such as buildings will be subjected to compression. In this experiment, we will determine the modulus of elasticity, the property of the material. We will find the compressive strength, the maximum load per unit area, load per area, decrease in length, percentage increase in area, and we will study about the stress strain behavior. Similar to tensile test, we will study all the properties here in compression test. Both are one and the same. But in tensile test, we will be using extensometer. Here there is no extensometer directly. The cross-sect moment will be taken because there is a small amount of compression taking. What is the procedure? We have to note down the original dimension of the specimen. Original length, original cross-sectional area. After compression, what happens? Length will be decreased, area will be increased. The specimen is mounted on UTM between two fixed and movable jaws. The load range on the machine is adjusted to maximum. The dial is mounted on the machine for appropriate positions. The machine is switched on and compressive load is applied gradually. For every 0.5 kilonewton of load, we have to tabulate the amount of deformation taking place. The load is applied continuously until specimen flattens for ductile or broken for brittle material. For ductile material, the specimen will undergo deformation and there will be perfect flattening. For brittle material, it will break. Tabulation is like this. For every load, we have to note down the deformation and we have to plot load versus deformation curve. Calculation goes like this. We have to take initial length, initial dia, initial cross section area, maximum load, final dia, final cross section area. Percentage decrease in length will be initial length minus final length divided by initial length. This is the difference in the initial length will be maximum, that is why initial minus final. Percentage increase in area will be final area because final area will be more minus initial area divided by initial area, that will be 26%. What is compressive strength? Maximum load by initial area gives the compressive strength. If you have to calculate Young's modulus, it is the slope of the load versus deformation curve taken from the table. So these things we will calculate in compression test. Hope you have understood. Thank you.
We will be conducting the test on compression test. So here you will be going for the compression of the material. So depending on the material which you are using, whether it is a my steel or cast iron, we are going for testing. So when you go for the testing of the compression test, we are going to compress the material. We are applying the load from upward and downward. So what will happen? One will be stationary, one will be moving up. So that due to that compression, bulging of the material takes place. Part will be going for the finding the what is the initial length and the diameter of the specimen. As per the standard, it is required that if the diameter is 20 mm, it should be 2:3. So the length should be 30 mm. So material what you are using is the cast iron. Next what you are observing is the UTM. Here what you are having is a universal testing machine. The capacity of this testing machine is 100 ton. So you can go up to 1000 kilonewton load. So next in the UTM, you what is the two parts. One is the UTM which is hydraulically operated. Second part is the control unit. In the control unit, you got a digital sensors which indicates you the load as well as the displacement. So load is applied in the unit of kilonewton and the displacement is measured in the mm. The next part you are having is the control valves. One is left control valve, another one is the right control valve. So right control valve is for applying the load. When it is rotated clockwise, it is in closed direction. When it is rotated in counterclockwise, it is in the open direction. So what will happen when you open? The oil fuel process, so the load will be applied. So next what you got is the left control valve. If you open the left control valve, whatever the pressure applied, it will be released. So the mechanism what you are having is the hydraulic mechanism. So in this part, you got is the center cross head, upper cross head and the lower cross head. So when you go for center cross head, you got an attachment for the compression pad. So you got an upper compression pad with the rod, it is connected and it is clamped with the clamping lock. Next part what I got is the lower cross head. So you are placing the specimen in between the center cross head and the lower cross head. So what will happen when you apply the load? The lower cross head moves up, the center cross head will be stationary. So what will happen simultaneously with the help of a column, the upper cross head moves up. So what will happen? If this is stationary, this is the lower cross head. If it moves up, what will happen? It will touch and the compression takes place. So when you place the specimen, always keep in mind, never keep it at the center of the pad. If you keep it in the center of the pad, here you have got a hole, from there it is connected with the rod, it is connected to the clamp. So what will happen? The weakest point of the pad is the center point. So you can place anywhere leaving the center point anywhere, so that you get a solid material. So the compression takes place easily. So next part of the UTM is, when you go for any machine, it has got a self weight. So that we call it as a dead load. So that will be acting on the hydraulic mechanism. Due to that, you will not get the actual reading. So you have to remove the dead load. Whatever dead load you are having is the 14 point something you are having in the unit. So what will happen? Initially we release the left control valve. We close the right control valve. So whatever the load applied will be released. Next, whatever it will be showing, it will be the dead weight. So next, what you have to close the left control valve. Switch on the hydraulic. Open the valve. So what will happen? The positive load will be applied. Can you see? The displacement is 0. The load is something 45. So you can observe here. What will happen? The displacement takes place. The load does not take place. That means whatever the load you have got in the UTM, that is when the downward force is applied. How can you neutralize the downward force? That is when you apply the upward force. What will happen? The load gets balanced. So that balanced load you got is, this is 0. There is a reason load will not acting because the downward load is neutralized. Continuously displacement takes place. So next part will be going for the conduction of the experiment. So place the specimen on the lower compression pad using the downward button crosshead. Move it manually downwards. So now you can see that exactly there is a slight gap in between the upper compressor pad and the lower compression pad. So you should not apply the cross head downwards. Don't bring the center cord further downwards. Switch on the hydraulic mechanism. Open the right control valve. So what will happen when you open the right control valve? The displacement will move. Load will not be less. Once the load starts moving, displacement will stop. Then now we can see now it is the upper compressor pad is completely touching the workpiece. There is no air gap in between them. Once the setup is done, next we will go for the conduction of the exhaust. So already keep the both valve closed. Go for the reset of the displacement as well as trail load. Once you go for trail load, both the values will become 0. Next comes the conduction part. So in conduction part, never touch the left control valve. It should be always closed. Hydraulic should be on. Then open the right control valve. Depending on your speed, you can control the right control valve. What will happen? If you open, the displacement goes on, the load goes on applying. The displacement will not be shown because since there is opposite force, that's why the displacement is not shown. One kilonewton is applied. Depending on your ability, you can move it slowly. You can observe here, I am moving it slowly. If I open the right control valve, I can move it. For every 2 kilonewton, note down the displacement. For 2 kilonewton, what is the displacement? Next, four kilonewton, what is the displacement? 6 kilometer, what is the displacement? 8 kilonewton, what is the displacement? You have to note down for every 2 kilonewton until you reach the upper yield and lower yield point. So at a certain stage, what will happen? The load will stop at a certain maximum point, then it will decrease. So what stage at the maximum point will be the upper yield point? The decrease will be the lower yield point, then it will go on continuously increasing. Since it is the material what is given is a cast iron, it is brittle in nature. So the crack takes place. Due to that, the signal will be passed on to the machine. Due to that, automatic cut-off takes place. Whereas if you go for my steel, since it is ductile in nature, it will gain the shape of a coin. So you have to apply it up to load of 250 or 260 depending on the material strength. Then you have to stop the setup. Whereas in cast iron, when the crack takes place, automatically the stoppage signal goes to the control unit, automatic stoppage takes place. So now you can observe here, it has gone for 31.32 simultaneously. You can see the speed. It will come to decrease. Speed will become lesser speed when it comes to the upper yield point. do it. Upper elbow, lower elbow starting. So you can observe that the crack has taken place. Failure of the material takes place. If it is cast iron, then only the cracking takes place. If you go for my steel, then it will be forming the shape of a coin.